I was a 40-year-old woman driving up the coast of California, and there were times I thought everybody would be better off without me.
The daughter of Marie Osmond reveals the truth about her mother's shocking rumors. Allow me to take you back to Marie's childhood before we get into the action. Imagine a world where young Marie discovers something completely new in the midst of a busy Utah in 1959. Being the only princess in this chaotic realm, she is encircled by 8 mischievous brothers. Marie, though, had everything but a typical childhood. The sparkling world of Hollywood was pushed upon Marie instead of tea parties and schoolwork. There was a musical superpower with strong Mormon roots in the Osmond family, and she was almost a part of it before she could tie her own shoes. Alan, Wayne, Merrill, and Jay, who are all brothers of Marie, began their musical career as a quartet. It became a massive family affair when Donnie and Jimmy got on board. Let us skip ahead to the present day, when Marie Osmond's life is again in the limelight. However, this time it's due to shocking disclosures regarding her financial choices rather than her spectacular achievements. In order to comprehend Marie's decisions, one must go into her background and discover how her childhood influenced her perspective on riches and family. We may as well laugh it off now. Marie narrates the story of how her famously talented parents, both teachers and dancers, gave their all so that she and her siblings might have an excellent education. The worst part was that every single sibling was supposed to learn an instrument, become an expert, and then pass the torch. Marie chose the piano. Think about it. You may be making your television debut as early as 3 years old. This is precisely what occurred when Marie and her brothers appeared on The Andy Williams Show. However, gaining a head start entails foregoing a great deal of valuable time with them. During an interview with Larry King, Marie recalled asking her mom whether she could let her play outside, to which she responded negatively. Marie admits that the journey was difficult and accelerated her maturation, but she does not regret the sacrifices she made for her job or the recording sessions. Despite her outward grin, Marie's honest book describes how she felt like a commodity rather than a child. At the age of 11, she was inspired by one of her most disturbing childhood stories to go to Japan for a commercial shoot. After their boat went down, sending her into shark-infested seas, her once-enjoyed week-long nautical trip turned into a nightmare. Despite being severely dehydrated and covered in blisters from a sunburn, she was shoved back into the spotlight immediately following her incredible rescue, instead of being allowed time to recuperate. Similarly, she had a difficult time in the studio. Nobody seemed interested in what she had to say, even when she wasn't singing, and she always had the impression that no one was paying attention. She suffered from an eating disorder in part because she lacked confidence in herself. Marie Osmond is about to embark on a thrilling new chapter in her life, the type of which most people can only fantasize about. As a co-host of her own show, the Donnie and Marie variety program in 1976, Marie assumed a new and remarkable role at the young age of 15. Despite the immense pressure to present a specific image, it was an incredible achievement. We may as well laugh it off now. Her heartfelt memoir is an open and honest account of her life. Imagine for a second that you were a teenager who idolized the supermodels, actors, and singers around her, thinking that they had it made. Cher, in particular, who was just 17 years old. While appearing on The Sonny and Cher Show with her brother Farrah Fawcett, who had recently achieved fame for her iconic red bathing suit poster, Marie felt both awe and a devastating blow to her self-esteem. Cheryl Ladd and Jacqueline Smith were among the lovely women that performed on their show, which also featured Raquel Welch. As a result, Marie's self-assurance was severely damaged. Her depiction of feeling like a fake and playing dress-up when we compare ourselves to others is humorously heartbreaking, yet many of us can probably relate. The most influential incident that occurred during this time, though, was probably an altercation with studio executives. They threatened to terminate the program unless she lost 10 pounds. An action that seemed relict from another era. They told Marie she should starve herself since she was a shame. Marie took this advice to heart and set out on a difficult path. At 103 pounds, she was already on the slim side, but she felt driven to go even thinner, reaching 93 pounds. On top of that, it's abusive, which is never healthy for you. Marie described a brutal fasting routine in an attempt to reach the unreachable aim of being as slim as possible. This included going without meals for days before to a program taping and drinking only lemon water mixed with cayenne pepper and maple syrup. Even after that, she still had to fight her weight. She carried her battles with her into adulthood, and anorexia and bulimia became her weapons. Marie shared insights into these challenges in 2018, revealing a more in-depth element of her experience. She felt powerless over most aspects of her life, but her eating disorders were an effort to grasp onto something elusive. Marie Osmond underwent physical abuse while she was a child. Along with her struggles with food, she had been keeping a far darker secret from her past. In her memoirs, she discussed the childhood trauma she endured as a child. Her bravery in sharing her story in the hopes that it could offer solace to those going through the same thing is hard to understand. During a heartfelt 2019 episode of The Talk, Marie shared much more information about her upbringing. She admitted that her own feelings about love and relationships were occasionally questioned as a result of her life events. Her devastating confession, "I actually thought I was different when I was 8 or 9 years old," exposed her immense struggle and the profound impact of the abuse on her life. She suffered from an unhealthy preoccupation with comparing herself to other women and an inability to form relationships with men as a result of the scars left by her tragic upbringing. What is truly remarkable, though, is that Marie found comfort and strength in her relationships with her father and brothers. She started to perceive men differently after experiencing their empathy and understanding. The strength to conquer her self-doubt and embrace herself authentically came from their unwavering love and encouragement. Despite Marie's struggles as a young lady, many of her romantic engagements had their ups and downs. Having the opportunity to meet famous men was one perk of being a TV star. Marie claims that the late 1970s were a time of several covert affairs. Michael McDonald, the talented singer for the Doobie Brothers, was one of her memorable engagements. "He was probably the object of my first serious crush," Marie said. It should be noted that the late Andy Gibb was also a musical prodigy. Marie couldn't help but smile and profess her eternal love for him whenever he was mentioned. Also, nobody can forget the handsome David Cassidy from the Partridge Family. It appeared as though fate had brought them together due to their common status as well-known artists and television celebrities. Marie said that it seems like everyone was infatuated with David, but once she had the chance to spend more time with him at the studio where they were both recording, her perspective changed. In an amusing admission, she added, "I glanced at him and said, 'It's not going to happen. His butt is smaller than mine, not going to do it,' laughing as she admittedly ended what could have been a stunning career in show business. In 1982, at the tender age of 22, Marie tied the knot with her longtime partner, Steve Craig. Marie filed for a divorce 3 years after they were married. Therefore, their marriage did not last. On the other hand, love came knocking again when Marie wed Brian Olsdahl in 1986. Their marriage lasted considerably longer, and they produced 7 beautiful children. Unfortunately, the good times couldn't endure forever, and by 2005 the groundwork was starting to disintegrate. Marie and her family had a terrible year since her Utah home burned down while she was giving a lecture in California. Brian, who was married to Marie before she died, was home with several of their children when the fire broke out. Though he managed to save everyone, the experience changed them forever. Marie paused to reflect on her life after the fire. She finally accepted that her homey front was an attempt to hide her marital dissatisfaction, which she had buried for years. A sign from on high, she saw it as a message that something had to give. In March 2007, Marie and Brian announced their separation after a marriage of less than 2 years. On the other hand, surprises occur frequently. After a divorce in 1985, Marie remarried in 2011 to Steve Craig. Divorce had been decreed in their marriage. Like a plot twist in a fantastic story, Marie sensed a higher power guiding her through it. Everything that had happened to her up to this point had been orchestrated in her mind, and she believed that a kind hand had guided her. Postpartum depression is just one more way that becoming a mother has been a constant through all of her ups and downs. The first of Marie's 8 children was born in 1983, and the last was in 2002, spanning over 20 years of her life. Her profound understanding of parenting, a path that hasn't been smooth for her, but is common for many women, is evident in this. The baby blues had a significant impact on Marie. She had an especially difficult period after having 6 children, but it was after she suffered from postpartum depression after giving birth to her son Matthew in 1999. During an interview with TV Guide in 1999, Marie discussed her struggle openly. She continued by saying that she was physically and mentally exhausted and that she was unable to move, even while held in her arms, due to muscle spasms. Because the stress was getting to be too great, Marie became mad and left her kids with a babysitter. When she got back to her house a few days later, the depression diagnosis was obvious. In a heart-to-heart with Oprah Winfrey in 2010, Marie said that she had suicide thoughts while battling postpartum depression. As she sat in the car, she recalled worried about a world without her. Her natural intelligence and perseverance, though, kicked in, and she recognized her anxieties had been groundless. Rumors of Marie's illness have circulated in the media, particularly in the months around August 2006. It was not an assassination attempt, according to Marie's spokesperson, who quickly put an end to the speculation. A medication side effect caused her blackout, not her will. Just a family trip, she thought. The public was reassured by her boss, although details were scarce. While making her live television appearance on Dancing with the Stars in 2017, Marie experienced yet another health issue. During her spirited samba performance, she fainted just as the judges were critiquing her. Nevertheless, her dogged determination carried her through, and she even managed to find humor in the situation. "Oh crap, I fainted on live TV," she said, causing a momentary release of tension that everyone could enjoy. Since the collapse wasn't a random event, Marie took a moment to think. Realizing that her family was likewise impacted by her illness was a sobering discovery for her. She felt deeply moved by her son's modest request that she be present for his own children. A decision to change was taken by her. That being the case, she teamed up with Nutrisystem, a company whose diet helps people improve their health as soon as it happened. Her determination caused her to start losing weight. When her time on Dancing with the Stars ended, she had lost a significant amount of weight. Despite all that Marie has been through, the worst sorrow was the death of her son, Michael. Michael, her son, had been going through a rough patch and was despondent. Even though he had sworn off trying again, his pain persisted. In her excitement to perform with her brother Donnie, Marie completely ignored Michael's call. No one responded the second time she tried. On the contrary, a call from the coroner's office shattered her world. Multiple blunt injuries received in a fall from a tremendous height were determined to be the cause of death for Michael in subsequent examinations. Astonishingly, there were no indications of drunkenness discovered throughout the coroner's investigation. The loss of her son saddened Marie. She had to accept that he had departed because of the unfortunate circumstances. He had left a note explaining his problems. She went on to say that her child had been the victim of bullying. The death of Marie Osmond's son is only one of many loved ones she has lost. The first occurred in 2004, when her dear mother Olive passed away from a stroke. Though he lived to a ripe old age of 90, her father George went away just 3 years after she was born. It is never easy to lose a parent. But the strikes continued. The unimaginable tragedy of a moving truck accident claimed the life of Marie's brother Jay Osmond's granddaughter in 2014. She was 7 years old. This was like reliving the agony of Marie's own son's death from many years before. In 2022, tragic events persisted when the girl's father, Chris Mortensen, was shot and killed needlessly as a result of road rage. To rub salt in the wound, Marie's nephew passed away unexpectedly in 2018. perhaps from an undiagnosed medical issue. The health issues that plagued her family continued throughout 2019. Following her nephew's passing, Marie Osmond discussed the family's health issues. She admitted that they had experienced a trying time. Jimmy was not the only one who suffered a stroke. Her brothers Tom and Verla also need cardiac surgeries. She was also planning to have her dear brother Donnie operated on. Their family gatherings must have been filled with stress and worry because of it. But Marie isn't the kind to dwell on negativity. She and her family have found hope in their religion, even in the darkest hours of sorrow. She spoke on how, "I faced a lot of loss and hardships in my life," adding, "But I truly believe that faith can carry you through even the toughest of times." It's remarkable that Marie has managed to keep her humor intact with all they've been through. During a 2019 Watch What Happens Live broadcast, she hinted that she and Donnie were thinking about canceling their Vegas show. "You know, Donnie's getting old," she teased, before adding, "We're thinking maybe this year, but who knows?" before letting out a mischievous giggle. The Flamingo Hotel and Casino concert by Donnie and Marie Osmond was originally contracted for just 6 weeks. They remained for a remarkable 11 years. But toward the end of the year, Donnie and Marie bid farewell to Vegas due to the popularity of their show. Some had started to wonder if Donnie and Marie were on bad terms. "You won't believe what, though," they said pleasantly the next year to end the rumors. Like in the good old days, Marie was there to share the thrill with Donnie's fans when he played his solo show in Sin City. Donnie spoke the words, "Together again." "The feeling of having my dear sister attend my event with me is indescribable." Marie joined Donnie as a co-host on The Talk in August of 2019, just 1 month before their final appearance together. After a year of delighting us, program creator Sarah Gilbert quit in August of that year, and Gilbert took her place. "She deserved a rest," Marie said to her husband Steve Craig after she announced her intention to take a sabbatical in order to devote more time to her children. Marie dropped off her last 2 children at university, leaving Steve and herself completely alone, maybe for the first time in decades. "Please consider it," she urged. With a sigh, she left The Talk and seized the opportunity to be with Steve and her loved ones even more. Do not worry, Marie has just started her professional journey. She has wowed audiences on Broadway, appeared in ads, and authored books. But guess what? She is unable to rein in her excitement for the performance, not even knowing that her grandkids would be there to encourage her. Not content to only become a theatrical success, Marie has dabbled in acting and even wowed on Dancing with the Stars. Plus, the ostentatious things aren't her primary interest. Marie, a prosperous entrepreneur, is famous for her beautiful porcelain dolls that she sells on QVC. As a result of all her accomplishments, her alleged net worth exceeds $20 million. The more effort she puts into her career in entertainment, the more wealthy she will become. Marie does not leave any money to her kids. Unexpectedly, Marie isn't one to abandon her kids too often. It is rare for celebrities to not leave large bequests to their offspring. That's right. In Marie's view, providing her children with financial support is not helping them. Rather, it is depriving them of the opportunity to develop resilience. She is aware of the difficulties faced by youngsters from wealthy backgrounds. Charity, not her children, is Marie's intended recipient of her fortune. Even though her talk show co-hosts and internet followers have criticized Marie for her decision, she is pleased with it. Money can't buy her children independence and resilience. She thinks this provides them that. She is overjoyed that each of her children has found fulfilling careers. Her daughter acknowledged that the rumors are true. Don't be deceived, Marie is an incredibly supportive parent, thinks Marie's daughter Jessica. Following much speculation, Jessica has come out as gay. By standing by Jessica no matter what, Marie showed her children how much she loved them no matter what. Marie and her ex-husband Brian adopted Jessica when she was just 2 years old. Sarah is now her happily wedded wife. See, neglect has nothing to do with Marie's choice not to provide her children with any financial support. Her children learned perseverance and independence from her, and she is a real mother who cheers them on and rejoices in their victories. What are your thoughts on her unusual strategy for passing wealth down through the generations? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments section. And if you would like to get additional video updates, simply click the subscribe button. Be on the lookout for when we next meet.